Welcome back to the Division 2. In this video I want to talk to you about one of the upcoming changes for Title Update 11. No, this is not appearance mods. I don't care about those at all. This is a talk about the rainbow loot and the fact that the developers told us during Title Update 10, when players started to notice the rainbow loot a lot more, they said that they don't actually know how to control their own systems. They are making changes so that they can control the systems, and they are going to work on the rainbow loot. But if you look at the current state of the game, there are bugs that are affecting players. For an example, I will be doing a video talking about the bugs within the Keener mission and things that are happening to hardcore players because that's still in beta and they haven't touched it. And there's a lot of just actions that speak louder than words, and words is all that comes out of these developers' mouths. They never have the actions to follow up. They never actually follow through with anything they tell us that is good for the game, and the health of the game, the state of the game, everything like that. They don't do anything to help us. So with this rainbow loot, I actually have a few questions for you guys to answer in the comments, because this is like a discussion type thing. You'll see gameplay from my hardcore character. I did a little bit of farming to get some shade tech so that I could unlock some perks and stuff. So that's the gameplay you're seeing in the background, and it's going to be the same for a few discussion videos. But I just want to talk to you about the rainbow loot, because I can't actually see anything they could do without completely reworking their systems to stop this happening, because they could, I don't know, make it controllable. I don't believe they can't control their own systems. Who's going to create something that they have no control over? You're not going to do that, especially in a game. You need to be able to control that stuff in order to change things up. But as we saw with the Title Update 10.1 loot, they said that we've increased the minimum rolls to the minimum will be 60%. That was a lie, just a straight up lie. I've never heard so much shit come out of their mouths, because there's footage on my channel of the very first day. I said this is the best update ever, because the rolls I was getting were pretty much near maxed out. Across everything I was getting, almost everything was maxed out. That literally lasted no longer than 24 to 48 hours, and then the loot started to dwindle a little bit. It started to go a little bit, get a little bit worse. But then after a week or two, it's back to square one. It's exactly how it was before Title Update 10.1 came out. And that's what a lot of developers do. I'm not saying, I'm not just picking on these devs, but that's what a lot of developers do. And it's not right, because we've been told that the loot's going to be significantly better, and there was even talks from a developer on Twitter saying that the minimum rolls are above 60%. I'm seeing drops that are purple, which should not be happening in heroic content. If you're opening the open world crates, then yes, you can get purples, but the crates and the gear crates and weapon crates that are tied to missions, activities, they are not supposed to drop purples, yet I've seen it happen. Control point yellow boxes are releasing purples, and players are getting rolls that are lower than 60 when it's supposed to be even higher than 60 for the minimum rolls when you're playing heroic difficulty content. So when Title Update 11 drops, they're doing a PTS, so players on PC, I'm going to jump on there to test it out as well. We're going to get to see, before they release it globally for everyone to play across all platforms, we're going to see what this loot is like. And I don't believe for a second that they're actually going to properly fix the rainbow loot, because there are several ways they could possibly do it, but it's not going to be beneficial for every type of play. And that's what these devs have always done. They've always tried catering to several different markets of players. You'll have the players that are moaning about PvP, so they'll nerf some stuff in PvP. Then you'll have the PvP players moaning that their stuff's not strong enough, so they'll buff it all up. Then you've got the PvE side of things, and then you've got players that just come on to raid, and then you've got players that helping other players, so the Shepherd rank and stuff. There are so many different types of players in this game, it's unbelievable, and the devs are just constantly trying to focus on all of them, when they should just simply split it up between PvE and PvP, and have those two things completely separate. So PvP has one completely different balance to what PvE has. So if a player picks up I don't know, let's just say a classic M1A. In PvE, it's overpowered as fuck because that's what the players want. That's what the players need playing against the computer. You need to feel powerful. It's a cover-based tactical looter shooter. Like, you need to be able to sit behind cover, have a lot of armor, like your armor and your health need to play a big role, and your weapon damage should be like huge. You should be able to wipe these enemies out on the hardest difficulty if that's what you want to do. If you take a look at Borderlands, they've got crazy features. Even Cyberpunk, which is a single player game, they're making it so you can curve fucking bullets around walls. Players love that sort of stuff. It's all about the entertainment value. Like, how much fun can you get out of a game? And the way they're developing this and tying things in together, it's just not on. Because when the classic M1A, that was really, really overpowered. When they brought that down initially, the very first change they did for it, they nerfed it by 40% across the board. Everyone started kicking off, so they reverted that change, and they managed to do it instantly. So players saying that, oh, these fixes take time. No, they don't, because there are several things they've done instantly because they didn't like it. But when it's something for us, they take forever. Look at the Revive Hive. That shit's been broken since day one. It's never worked properly. It's still got bugs now, here and there. And they've also got bugs with Keener. Aaron Keener, the final boss of the paid expansion, and they don't bother with it. So when this update, Title Update 11, when this comes out and they say they've fixed the rainbow loot, I have a strong feeling that when Title Update 11 drops, there's going to be issues because they're either going to change it for PvE only, PvP only, they're going to do something and it's going to piss off one part of the player base. The problem with that, though, is the fact that once they've done that, they're going to say, oh, we can't do anything just yet, it's not tied into a title update, you're going to have to wait until TU12 for us to fix it. That's exactly how these devs work. They get us all excited, they bring something into the game, a couple of days later it all falls apart, we complain about it, and then it has to wait for maybe even 3 months' time for a season's end so that we get a new title update. That is not how it should work. With the damage glitch, it was the most fun players have ever had in the game. Players got banned for it. There was rollbacks. Players lost 2 weeks worth of their gear. Some of that gear being legit. I believe there was like 6 days worth of stuff that was legit, like earned properly through playing the game, and players lost it. But yet when it comes to the raid and players are cheating in a competition for world's first, they don't give a fuck. So with this rainbow loot, they're going to mess it up in some way. They're like one of the audiences for the game, they're going to screw over. And then it's back to square one. It's like a job security type thing. And I've started saying that a lot more recently because I've started noticing it. They always seem to create more problems than they fix, so that when it comes to their next State of the Game stream, they have something to talk about, they have something to work on, they get to keep their jobs. In terms of fixing the rainbow loot, I pretty much don't have any idea what they could do, because if they completely take out the possibility of rainbows, then some hybrid builds are screwed. If they lower the chances of them, they could have the chances of red drops like too high, so you're just going to get far too many reds. And like, it's a big focus for them to fix this rainbow loot because there's been so many complaints. So other things in the game are still going to be dodgy. They're not going to work how they're supposed to. They're not going to work as intended. So it's going to always go back to square one. And that's why I'm concerned for the future of this game, which I spoke about in the last video. There's just so many things that happen in this game, and there's nowhere near enough developers. They're all being passed off onto other projects. I think alongside fixes for Rainbow Loot, whatever they decide to do, I think their easiest route would be to just lower the chance of getting like fully mixed attributes on pieces of gear, if they've even programmed their systems to work like that. But alongside that, what they also need to do is when you get something Richter and Kaiser, don't drop with both reds, don't drop with both blues. It's a skill-based brand set, drop with yellow stuff. They need to make it so that there aren't as many hybrids, because although players have fun making hybrid builds, they're not strong. You cannot compete with a DPS build when you are running a hybrid. You might have a mixture of survivability and DPS, but there will be players that are just linked into survivability. They're going to outperform your survival. Like, your ability to survive, they're going to perform much better because they're just spec'd into one thing. I think they need to try their best to not fully eliminate rainbow loot from the game, but they need to lower the amount it drops. So basically, drop the frequency a little bit because it's far too often. At the same time, they need to make it so that red brand sets are dropping with red attributes more often, not all the time. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind finding the odd piece of Providence with a couple of blues or a yellow on it, or something like that, because if they did it so that Providence always dropped with reds, what's the point of the recalibration station, besides, like, recalibrating a stat up to its highest? Like, it does help out, but then there's another thing that comes along with that, and that's the fact that players have been asking to do 2 recalibrations instead of 1 for such a long time, but the devs are never going to do that, so we might as well get that out of our heads. It'd be amazing, it'd help us with our builds, but the devs don't want us to have an easy time. The whole point of us playing their game is to grind, so they're going to do everything in their power to keep us grinding. But that's my thoughts about Rainbow Loot. I want to know yours in the comments, so leave your comments down below. Let me know exactly what you're thinking about it. That's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.